So as you can see, there's a theme with me. When I don't like something, I will just pivot into the next thing. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I am Reni, nice to meet you all, and I want to appreciate each and every one of you for taking your time out of your busy day to watch this video. On my channel, I do fashion, finance, lifestyle, and career, and today's video is going to be all about career. So one of my old coworkers actually has a YouTube channel, and she's a recruiter, and I realized that she went through and explained how she explained her career journey so that you actually know a bit about her. I've realized that throughout the course of this channel, I've actually never explained what my career journey has been thus far. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of background about my career journey, just so that when I give these career tips, you know that like I'm speaking from personal experiences and you understand that I kind of have, not expertise, but I know a thing or two about what I'm talking about. So let's go back to high school. At the beginning of high school, I really wanted to be a doctor. I don't know, I think it's just that like Nigerian thing where they give you like 3 options: doctor, engineer, lawyer.
African family, you got 4 choices of career: doctor, lawyer, engineer, disgrace to the family.
So I was like, okay, I think I want to be a doctor. They get to help people all day, like it's a really good profession. I didn't really calculate how much school I would have to do, so I'm grateful that obviously I'm not a doctor right now, but at that time I thought I wanted to become a doctor, a pediatrician actually, because I love kids. So that was my plan. I was taking all the courses. I even fast-tracked and I was taking biology, grade 11 biology when I was in grade 10. I took chemistry, I took physics, I took every single thing. And I think I really hated chemistry and physics. I like biology, but the other two, they were just too much. And I was like, how am I going to become a doctor if I can't even, I did really well in them, but I was like, how am I going to become a doctor if I hate these subjects? So I was like, I need to pivot, and my next thing was like, let me become a lawyer. Obviously, like, those have nothing to do with each other, but I think because my parents are both lawyers, I just wanted to be a lawyer, or I thought that was the next option available. So I went from doctor to lawyer, and thankfully I didn't go to engineer, but yeah, I started taking courses that were more aligned with becoming a lawyer. So I was taking the law courses, which I really loved. I did really well in them. So in Canada, you have to do an undergrad degree before you can go into law school. My dad was like, your undergrad degree has to be able to sustain you even if you decide not to go into law school. So he didn't want me to study anything that I would get that degree and not know what to, like, not be able to get a full-time job. So he was like, so I was like, let me think, and I decided on business. And the reason I decided on business was because it's so broad that you can really do anything with a business degree. So I eventually started taking more and more business courses. I took all the math courses that you need to get into business school, and I went to the Schulich School of Business. So that is where I went for university. I got in, I applied to Queen's, Western, and Schulich. I think those are the only 3, and U of T, and I got into all 4, and I decided on Schulich simply because it was actually one of the most affordable choices that there were, and the program had an exchange program, which obviously you guys know me, I had to take advantage of. So those were my main reasons for going to Schulich. Someone actually asked me to do a video all about my experience at Schulich. So if you guys want to see that, I'm not sure if you want to. There would be no video content because obviously I've been out for 2 years and I did not start my YouTube channel then. But if you guys wanted me to talk about my experience at Schulich and like just walking you through my experience at Schulich, let me know in the comments below. So in first year, I arrived at Schulich Schulich School of Business at York University. I arrived there. I actually lived on residence for the first year, which I highly recommend. It was one of the best experiences ever. So in first year, we have to take all the general courses. I figured that I hate accounting, really hate accounting. It was something that I did not like at all. I did really well in it. It was actually one of my highest grades, but it was just something that made me miserable. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna specialize in accounting. I'm not gonna specialize in finance. Every single time I took a course, it was like, nope, I'm not doing any of this. So yeah, I learned a lot while I was at Schulich, and I eventually decided to specialize in operations management. By the time, so you specialize in third year, so I took enough courses to get my specialization in operations management, and then by the time I was done my specialization, I was like, oh, I do not like this. I do not like this at all. So as you can see, there's a theme with me. When I don't like something, I will just pivot into the next thing. So I did not like operations, but I had taken a few marketing courses, and I was like, okay, I'm in my fourth year. I can just take all marketing courses and then get that marketing specialization. So that was what I did. I'll backtrack a bit by saying in my first year, I got an internship. I got an unpaid internship at a real estate company, and I don't recommend doing unpaid internships unless it's I don't recommend them actually at all. It was about franchising. I don't know if it was the most valuable experience, but it got something on my resume, so that's what I did. I went back in second year, and then I got an internship at a large bank in Canada. So I was working as a business analyst on a database analyst team while I was there in my second year. So that's why my operations management specialization kind of tied into that. Yeah, and then I networked my way into my next role. So I learned a lot during that summer. But it wasn't really aligned with what I saw myself doing. So I asked my manager if she could allow me to shadow another team for 2 weeks. Just so that I could learn more about other teams. She was really open to this. So if you're ever not liking what you do, ask your manager or ask people if you can shadow them. Obviously, I still had to do my work from my existing internship, but she allowed me to shadow this other team as well. I shadowed another team for 2 weeks, and I tried to add as much value as possible by really challenging the things that they were doing and offering solutions to what they were doing. So if they were doing something that I thought was not the most innovative thing, and there were technologies that were already existing that they could use to improve what they were doing, I definitely recommended that. At the end of those 2 weeks, I told the manager that if they were looking for an intern for next year, I would be their girl. Like, I wanted to work on that team next year. This was the business asset management team. So I told her that, and she was like, yeah, of course. She'd never had an intern before, so she said yes. However, I followed up when I knew recruiting season was coming up. So in about November of the following summer, so my internship ended in August, and then in November I followed up with her and told her, hi, I know that recruiting season is about to start. I just wanted to let you know I'm still interested in working for you next summer. I've attached my resume, so if you are still looking for an intern, I would love to be an intern. This is how I got my second job. So she put my name forward in the internship program. I did my interviews with the recruiter, and then I was hired to do my next internship. I actually went to Thailand for 5 months, and then I came back on a Friday and started my internship on a Monday. So it was great to have a job lined up, and the whole time while I was in Thailand, I didn't have to actually worry about searching for an internship. So that internship was in my third year summer. It was also as a business analyst in the business asset management team. I worked there for the summer, tried to add as much value as possible, and just connected with a lot of people while I was there. So every time they had an extracurricular activity that they were offering the interns, I participated in it. So they have lots of panels that they host, and if your internship program has panels that they host, join those panels and try to ask questions to the panelists. It makes you stand out as someone who's actually inquisitive, and people will remember your name simply because you're asking questions. So I asked as many questions as I could. I attended all the events that they had. When they had fun events for the interns, I actually attended them, even though I had to go all the way downtown, but I make sure that I attended each and every event that I wanted to, of course, simply because it allows you to connect with people outside of your immediate group. So that's what I did. We also had a hackathon. I made sure I connected at a hackathon, and that hackathon was very important because it connected me with someone who then got me my full-time job. So guys, the theme of my career is pivoting, and it is also just networking. Networking has changed the game for me, as I've said in many videos, and it's the reason I am where I am. So at the end of that summer, I was really interested in coming back as a full-time graduate. So I'm returning for next year, and I'm really excited. I'm like, okay, so if you are looking for a full-time hire, I will be graduating in June of next year. So if you're looking for anyone, I'm your girl. Again, I'm shooting my shot, telling them exactly who they need to hire. And she was like, yeah, of course, I'll keep in touch. So remember, when someone says keep in touch, it's your responsibility to actually keep in touch with them. So I reached out to her about November again when I know they start recruiting, and I was like, hey, old manager, I'm about to graduate in June and I'm looking for my next full-time role. I remember we discussed this, so is there still a role on your team? And to my surprise, she was no longer in the role. She was no longer a people manager, so she was moved into another role. And there went my job. I had no job left, unfortunately. So then I had to start networking and building on all those connections that I had made in my previous summer. Imagine if I hadn't connected with people during the summer. I would have then had to scramble to find new connections who can hopefully help me find a job. So I'm really grateful that I had made connections the previous summer, and I was graduating the next summer, so I started reaching out to different people that I had met. I wasn't reaching out to them for a purpose of the job, but more to connect with them more, and then maybe sprinkle in that I'm graduating soon. So I connected with an amazing guy who I met once at a hackathon, and I was just saying Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we would just stay connected over the year. I think I told him that I was graduating soon, and he was like, oh, I know a new grad position that's opening, send me your resume. And I was like, okay. And then the next thing I knew, I had an interview for a role. That just goes to show you the power of connecting with people. People will go out of, especially when you do right by them, people will go out of their way to help you. So that's what I did, and he really introduced me to my next manager. So I had the interview, I had I think 2 or 3 interviews, maybe 2 interviews, and then I was offered the role. This is the role that I got post-grad, and I remember I told you guys earlier in my salary negotiation video that I did not negotiate my salary at all, which was a big mistake, but we live and we learn. So I started off as a full-time business analyst as a new grad. I started right after graduation. I was super excited for this opportunity, and I was working there for about a year. I worked there for a year in total. It was still within the same company. So since second year, I've been working in this, since second year summer, I've been working in the same company, which is a blessing. Like, I've been able to pivot my career within this company, and I will say that the company has over 50,000 people, so it's like there are lots of opportunities within the organization. After working there for a few months, I guess the work wasn't aligned with what I wanted to do long term. Once again, you can find that out in the interview process. So I have a video about the questions that you should ask in the interview. I did not ask any of these questions, unfortunately, but still, it was still a good experience. I still was able to get into the job, get a full-time job after graduation. And I understand that every job is not going to be perfect, so trust, like, I get it. So I worked there for a year, and after about 9 months, I told my manager that I was going to be looking for new roles within the company, more aligned to what I wanted to do, which was marketing. So I started looking for marketing roles, and it is very hard to get into marketing because those roles are coveted. People really like marketing. It is a fun part of the organization, so it was very hard to get into it. So once again, what did I do? I started networking. I networked with the campus recruitment team that had initially hired me for my first role back when I was in second year. I stayed connected with them. I volunteered and helped them at their events. I did a lot with them. Because I was always adding value to them, then they added value to me. They connected me with a recruiter who worked in marketing, who recruited for marketing. That recruiter that I connected with put me up for a job posting that was available in marketing. I will say this job posting was like really advanced. I think I was a grade 4 or 5 at that time, and this role was a grade 7 or 8. So it was a huge step up. I still thought I could do it because maybe like I have this idea that I can do anything, but I definitely didn't have the experience for it. But remember, networking allows you to bypass all those experience requirements. So that's what happened. I was then put up for that job posting, and I think it was like 4 or 5 interviews. I met with so many different people, and I was really excited about this role. Like, this was a role that it was focused on women empowerment and bring more women customers into the bank within marketing. So I was really excited for that. Like, it's a strategic role. You get to travel around the country. Like, I was super excited to work on this team. I went through the it was so many interviews. I met with the chief marketing officer, I met with the manager, I met with every person on the team. So like, it was a lot, but I think I killed it. Like, that was the point when I really honed in on my interview skills, and I learned how to I learned how to interview like a pro. So I thought I killed the whole interview. And then unfortunately I did not get the job. I was sad, but I was like, it's okay. Like, if this was not God's plan for me right now, it'll come I know he has better things for me. So I was like, okay, no big deal. I'm sad, but it is what it is. The chief marketing officer who I interviewed with told me that there was a job posting available on her team still. So she realized that she really liked me through the interview process, but she thought it was a bit advanced for me, so she actually recommended me for another role that was within her team or within her organization. This is the role that I am currently in right now, and I will say that the one thing that I took away after my interview and after getting the rejection notice from them, I emailed both the hiring manager and the CMO, and I said, thank you so much for the opportunity to interview with you. It was a pleasure. I actually learned a lot just through this interview process. And if there are any roles ever available on your team, I would love to be considered for them. So don't be pissed when you get a rejection notice. Be grateful, and then like position it as, even though I didn't get this, I would love to work for you someday in another capacity. That's what I did, and that's how I was pushed into this role. So she told me about this new role that was available on her team, and I interviewed with the hiring manager, and I got the job. I will say I did not have all the qualifications, but I was able to sell myself in the interview and market myself. We're almost to the end of my career journey. I know I've only been out of school 2 years, but a lot has happened in those 2 years. And last but not least, so I started working in my marketing manager role that I'm currently working in now. I have been working here for 1.5 years, and I have been loving it, making lots of connections deliberately along the way. Never burning any bridges, making friends with lots of people in different parts of the organization, even within my marketing team. I'm such a social person, so I make friends pretty easily, and I've decided to continue doing that. I still go on coffee chats, even though I'm very happy in my job. I still decided to go on lots of coffee chats throughout this past 1.5 years. And I went on a coffee chat with someone who works in the strategic marketing team, which is still under my same director, but she's just the manager of one of the other teams. I met with her, and we had that coffee chat, and that was about in May. So I wasn't looking for a job or anything. I was just like connecting with her, seeing more about what her team does. And now a role has opened on her team, and it was offered to me. So I will be starting a new role starting on December 15th, which this is probably being posted way after that, but I'm starting a new role. Really excited about it. I will be a marketing manager on the strategic marketing team. So this is a promotion for me. I will be leveling up my career, even I'm in the midst of a pandemic. And I won't lie, this is the first time that I've had a job that I'm like, oh my gosh, am I qualified for this? But you know what? God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So I know that I'm going to excel in this position. I am really grateful for my career journey thus far, and I can't wait to see exactly what happens next. I will just say that when you guys are interviewing for roles or you're applying for new roles, make sure that you have a larger vision in mind. So you are applying for roles. Every role does not have to be perfect, but it should be aligned with what you want to do in the future. There's no point in me taking a business analyst role right now just because it pays a lot, because it doesn't align with my larger vision or the larger purpose that I see for myself. Always know what your larger vision is, and then we can make a plan based on that. My career has been very fluid. I've been open to opportunities, and I implore all of you to be open to opportunities as well. You never know what good can come out of just connecting with people, with reaching out to people to see if they need help. There are so many benefits of just being a good person and being kind to others. So as you can see, my career has been a journey, and many people ask about how I transitioned from a BA to a marketing manager. I have a video on that. I'll leave it up here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful and very informative, so you can see exactly why I say networking is so important, why I say mentorship is so important. All these things have had such a big impact on my career, and yeah, I just wanted to outline that for you. If you guys have specific questions that I have not answered in this video regarding my career, let me know. Leave those in the comments below, and let me know what you want to see next as well. Remember, I only want to make videos that you want to see. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.